If you could play any 5 games for the first time, what would they be? In today's video, I want to go ahead and answer that. I'm going to be going through some of my kind of childhood games, but also games that I've just loved so much and have really enjoyed playing. And the number 5 spot, and by the way, this is in absolutely no order because I love each and one of these games. They are very close to my heart. At number 5, I've got to go with Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. This game is absolutely amazing. For those who played this game, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say it's probably the best Need for Speed to actually ever release. It followed a very simple narrative. Pretty much you do races, you get enough bounty and do enough objectives, and then you go against the boss. Pretty much you do that 15 times until you get to the top of the blacklist, and then you have to escape. That's pretty much it. So it's actually very, very simple in terms as a whole game. However, just something about it makes it really, really good. One thing for me, and I think a lot of people will feel very similar, is all the kind of pursuit breakers and the fact that you can destroy cop cars really, really easily. When you go into the newer kind of Need for Speed games, you're not really able to do that. It's a lot more tougher, and it kind of just brings the fun level to a whole minimum in the recent games. But the Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 version did it perfectly, and I kind of don't understand why they got rid of that. It may have been simple, but it was a really, really fun game. And for anyone who played it, I know you'll understand exactly what I mean. At the number 4 spot, I've got Call of Duty Warzone. And when I'm talking about Warzone, I'm talking about the very official first release. For me, it was a very tough time. Obviously, you know, COVID just came through and we were all kind of locked down and all that stuff. It was not a fun time whatsoever. Warzone came through though, and I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It was the one game that actually kept me kind of sane during COVID, and I met a load of new people who I still talk to and play with to this day. At the time, I didn't really care about high kills. I cared about getting wins, and whenever we got a win, it was a fantastic feeling. But this game was so good. I do wish that we could go back and play this for the first time again. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have our first story mode game. It's The Last of Us Part 1. Now, I've been recommended to play this game, and honestly, I loved it. We streamed it on Twitch, by the way. Link right here if you wanna come through, please do. We played it on stream, and my god, the emotions were coming through. Good lord, it was such a good game. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would love to go back and play it again. You know, even with knowing what happens, again, it's just another game that I'd love to play for the first time again, but also I might just replay it again regardless. It was such a good game. Absolutely adored it. Fantastic. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Detroit Become Human. Again, another story game, but this is defined on what actions you take, because it is one of those games where you decide how the story ends. Again, another game that just hits with the emotions, and it's one of those games to the point where I have played it multiple times. Probably will play it again in the future at some point as well. Good thing about this game is that there are so many endings that you can have, because it's split into 3 sections with 3 kind of sets of characters, if that makes sense. So it's pretty much 3 stories, and then it comes into one. It joins together, and it's great. It's really, really good. And Detroit Become Human is probably one of those games that I would recommend everyone to play, because it's beautiful. It is such a fantastic game. If you like games that, you know, where you kind of decide the story, but also you like emotion in it as well, Detroit Become Human, I literally couldn't recommend it enough. And coming into the number 1 spot, of course, you guys know I am a Call of Duty fanboy. It's Black Ops 2, because Black Ops 2 is probably my favorite Call of Duty, or at least one of them. Black Ops 2 was such a beautiful game. I remember playing it for the first time. What a masterpiece. Genuinely. I remember going to my local town. I remember when Mob of the Dead had just came out. remember going to my local town just to buy some Microsoft points, because that's how it was back then. It wasn't, you know, used with actual money. It was Microsoft points. So I would go to the game store, like by me. I had to walk like an hour or something like that just to get there. So I walked there, went to the game store, bought Microsoft points, and then came back. Literally did all that just so I could play the brand new map Mob of the Dead. This game was a beauty, not only in the, you know, just the multiplayer aspect or the campaign aspect, but zombies as well. All of it was fantastic. I loved every single part of it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any games that you think that you would like to replay for the first time, go ahead, put that in the comments. Appreciate you all watching. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and put the post notifications on. Make sure to catch me on Twitch. The link is going to be right here, and it's going to be in the description as well. Thank you all. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.